It's we need an air conditioner in here.
Ja,
So what?
aber das war.
Yeah, are we live? Okay, thank you.
Are you ready? Yeah,
Yeah, really.
live?
Yeah.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the June 18th, 2026 Chief Council meeting. It is 3:06. We'll call the meeting to order. And acknowledgement to the ancestors.
Miranda by default.
Okay, just grateful for this day, beautiful day on our territory, and bringing all of us together. Just acknowledging our ancestors and a lot of the good work that they did in our community and outside of our community long before we came here, came along. So just acknowledging their hard work and helping us to get our people and our community to where it is today. So see you.
Thank you. Get adoption of the agenda. Amy? Miranda, Doug, all in favor? Motion carried. Meeting minutes from May 21st. First one,
Done.
done.
Second done.
Second one is down, third.
Then third one done. Fourth one also done. Yeah, that's it. The second one.
Adoption of the meeting for May 21st.
Second did they?
Yeah, from May 21st. What?
Second did one?
Yeah.
Okay, who did the first one? First.
Just for Jamie. All in favor? Carry. First one to say Kyle sends his regrets because he has some medical issues he had to deal with. And Domo is at a fisheries meeting, so his next update will be when we can fish, approximately how much we'll be able to fish. And
7 million are coming up this year or something.
I heard there's a bumper crop, but
Yeah, or just yeah.
he'll confirm and let us know how much we will be allowed to fish.
Oh yeah.
Things to plan around cultural days. Okay, so the first one is PG Tourism. That Clay is committed for the rest of his life to be on board.
No. This is all. This
I
is.
heard you
This
volunteered.
is. I am overextended. I don't have time. Seems like you got a lot of time, Doug.
I have lots of money too. That's very funny.
Oh yeah. I was gonna tell you how many fish you're allowed to take out of our river. Come on. From the DFO, they're gonna tell us what we're allowed to fish.
Fish whatever I want.
I know. That's what I mean. It's. Hello, everybody.
Hello, welcome.
Where would you like us to?
Wherever you would like.
All right, we'll take these two chairs right here.
Finally.
Thank you. It is.
Sometimes they're just
Like
like,
Rocky
"Oh,
Mountains. Thank you.
Ooh, you need this energy boost then.
So just to let you know, we brought that to Oprah to you.
I know, right? Thank you. Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you. Those chocolates are Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory.
Oh, yeah, Trent.
Yes,
Nice.
yeah, so only the best.
Yeah, right? That's awesome. That
My
is
daughter is obsessed with their candy apples.
a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people.
She can only eat maybe like 25% of one. So guess who gets to?
Oh, yeah, nice.
The trooper.
I like their dark chocolate there is really good. It's actually has a natural sweetness to it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's good.
and they say dark chocolate's a little healthy for you.
That's what they say, yeah. So
You don't feel as healthy.
you don't, Shahid.
He's our snack.
Yeah, he's our snack guy.
Chief snack providing officer. That's an important role.
Yeah, right?
Welcome. Hello, everybody.
It's actually sweet. Their stuff is actually pretty sweet.
Thank you.
Actually, we had a quick roundtable.
Okay. Start with the wrong kid there. Just, you have a presentation. Okay, Miranda, start with Miranda.
Oh, Miranda, Council.
Hi, Shahid Naseed, Administrative Officer.
Nasir Ahmed, I'm Director of Finance and Compliance and Acting Executive Director.
Christina Watts, Director of Business and Destination Development.
Scott McWalter, Executive Director of Tourism Prince George.
Keep telling Logan.
And Crystal Gibson, so. Seymour Council.
Doug Olson Council.
Clay Poutney, Council.
Jamie Bird Council.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
You have the floor till 3:30 and there's 3 votes.
Excellent. Well, first of all, we are so blessed and privileged to be here today on the traditional and unceded territory of the Lheidli Canadian. And we have something exciting to bring to the table. And it's been a lot of dedicated, hard work from Christina, our Director of Business and Destination Development with Tourism Prince George. And it's something that we're presenting today, not as this is absolutely something we should make happen. It's more of a discussion, just something that we want to provide everyone with some information, some background. And we have the perfect case study as well with Tourism Tofino on Vancouver Island, something that they implemented years ago that is turned into really not just a provincial success story, but national and international as well. And with the Tourism Allies Partnership discussion today, I'm going to let Christina have the floor here and discuss it in greater detail. And this, as you'll see from the supporting material, is a discussion today. And then we can also take next steps after you have some time to evaluate and consider different options. So the table is yours, Christina.
So Hadi, I'm honored to be here on the unceded ancestral lands of the Lheidli. Thank you again for allowing us to come here and present today. Our Tourism Prince George team is really dedicated to carrying on the good relationships that we were building and will be continuing to build with you. As Scott mentioned, I'm the Director of the Business and Destination Development, not nearly as cool of a title as the Land Guardians, which I've recently learned about. I've in this role, really what I do is I help build up the tour operations, design experiences, work with placemaking, and we pursue major sports events and attract meetings and conventions. And 90% other duties as unassigned. So the more that I kind of work on projects in this role, the more I'm seeing a lot of opportunity to work with the Lheidli. We particularly do a lot of projects that I see require guidance and input. And so before I jump into this, I just want to share one of those examples with you, which is actually the wayfinding. We have a project right now where we're looking at doing signage or symbols to kind of navigate people through the downtown. Right now it looks like fox paws, but I took a pause recently because I thought to myself, is this an opportunity where we could incorporate some Lheidli symbolism? And further to that, I know in history, Indigenous people used to mark trees and they used to bend them over and they used to kind of point in certain directions. And I thought, like, how cool would it be if we could incorporate something like that with some wayfinding around town which would be like an educational piece. It would kind of lend itself to cultural recognition. But more importantly, I think it would be a way for people to see these trees and learn to identify them so that when they go into the bush, if there is any left, they don't chop them down and they can kind of like, you know, bring them up to you guys and let you know that they're there. I think there's a tree near Hickson that has some markings on it, so that they are out there. So I'm looking at, so in my role, I see a lot of opportunity where we could do stuff like that. So following that, let's jump into the Tourism Ally Partnership discussion. So we belong to Destination Think, which is a global collective of tourism leaders who meet and they talk about the challenges and some of their great initiatives that are happening around the globe. And we had a meeting where it was about Indigenous relations, and Saya Masso from Tofino, the Talquot Nation. He presented and he shared with us one of the things that they kind of made happen down there. And we thought that's really cool. It's actually really genius. And tourism's really like our ears have perked up in a meeting yesterday with Indigenous Tourism BC. There is the Thompson Okanagan that's also looking into this. And we felt it was really important to bring it to you guys because this is an initiative that we cannot lead. This is one that you would have to lead, but we can support. And this is how it rolled out in Tofino. I drafted up this document, so it's kind of like a story. So it tells how it shaped up down there. Really, yeah, again, it's just an exploratory discussion piece to share with you to understand some of the concept. So Tofino went through a really defining moment years ago when the Clayoquot Sound in the 1990s experienced the war in the woods, and they blockaded the road and they prevented some logging of the ancient forest trees that they had there. I mean, it really brought to life the idea of land rights for Indigenous people. And so they kind of like made a tribal park area and they've been stewarding it. And yeah, and they like really today, there's a lot of resource industries that operate within the frameworks that, you know, they recognize the rights. And there's consultation of revenue sharing and partnership for benefits for the First Nations. And then down south there, they said, well, you know, tourism also benefits from our land. How can we, you know, tap that industry, right? Because it's another industry. And so then it moved into, you know, tourism land. And at one point, they were telling me that the relationship was not good because they believe that tourism should be, you know, supplying them with the like funding like a resource would. But unfortunately, with the tourism model, it's restrictive. So anyway, unlike the resource extraction industries, tourism does not remove resources from the land. So that was kind of one of the differences. However, the tourism definitely depends upon the land, the culture, the stories and the history to bring people in. And so they looked at like why visitors are coming. The historic factor was that there was not ever a mechanism through which this funding could be actively directed and contributed to the stewardship. So the question kind of came out of these kind of foundations and conversations in Tofino. So they kicked around the idea of putting out a tax, like an eco fee or stewardship fee down there, what that would look like, if it would be like a, you know, a firm contribution, if it would be a flat rate, what that would look like. And it raised a really kind of important question, particularly with different political frameworks and mentalities. And they kind of arrived at this solution where it could be like a 1% fee and a voluntary contribution from places like hotels, tour operations, places where visitors visited, not necessarily to hit residents. However, you could, in certain situations, do that. So they developed this Allies program. And really the concept was really simple. They approached businesses and they asked them if they would voluntarily contribute 1% or just a flat rate amount on the eligible visitor purchases towards Indigenous stewardship initiatives, or really the priorities of the band. Down south, theirs was the stewardship because they had seen a lot of destruction, and so they were looking to restore clam gardens and the salmon runs and stuff like that. So yeah, so those funds, so when they put the initiative together, then what they did is they would do a certification. So they would go in and they would educate them, they would certify them, and they would provide like a ally sign that they could post in their businesses.
Or,
But
I think this is something we kind of looked at before, something very similar in the previous years. It's almost like an ISO standard, how some certain companies have to have that. Same type of thing as learning about us, essentially.
exactly, yeah, exactly. And it's so important because I mean, we talk about it at work too. And like, are we really culturally educated? You know, like we have visitors come through. What does that look like? Responsible visit. We have to gun for responsible visitors now. So yeah. So anyways, the land guardians. There's actually one. It was Julian who does the certification, and yeah, they would get certified, and then they would put, you know, proudly put this sign up, and then annually they would contribute this amount. So there was some early challenges, and it's a very colorful early challenge, not in this report, but one that I'll share with you. They were very passionate about getting 1% of the tourism industry, and they approached tourism kind of like a little bit roughly, and then the messaging went out to the original businesses, like, you should give us this 1% in a shaming way to participate. And of course, that
never works.
that never works. And so the tourism CEO got together with the CEO, the head there, and they met and they had some trauma bonding over a couple beers, and they rehatched out their message, and they went back to the table with some new stuff. So yeah, they address things like, you know, why should business participate, how it would work, whether the customer base would support it, and then really like how to communicate the value of the program. So yeah, it, you know, was something that they started in 2018, took a pause in 2019 because of COVID, and then after 2022, the program resumed again, and it had a really good plan, really like a really powerful plan, and it's taken off in Tofino, and it's, yeah, getting world attention. So yeah, it's really sits on the importance of relationships, because even though it's a fee, it's more so about the idea of giving back to the land, reciprocity. Yeah, I can't quite say that, but you know what I mean. So yeah, so when the nation first approached tourism to Tofino, the way our MRDT funding is set up, like we can't just do the 1% out of that. However, tourism to Tofino said, okay, how else can we help with this program? And they are able to market, because a DMO, we're able to market. And so that's what they kicked in and helped to do. And so they really partnered with SEO and the Clout Nation. I don't have that right. And so they provided marketing support, which provided education, storytelling, and really amplifying their channels. So you'll see in some social media posts later on in this document how they did that. But really, they promoted the program, they shared the stewardship stories and how the program is helping, which got more people behind the program. They highlighted the participating businesses, so the allies were highlighted. And then they really kind of educated the businesses. They built the awareness of the culture and the values, and they were very strong with communicating the impact that this was creating. So really, everybody bought in, right? Because you really want to support these initiatives. I mean, the tourism values are very similar with those value systems. Like, we want to see a healthy environment for years to come. We're all about regenerative tourism, and a lot of other people are too.
And it also helped amplify community pride as well. And you see just with the logo on the power of storytelling part of the document, that local businesses that were supporting this initiative, this Tourism Allies program, would have that logo up in their shop or their store, or their restaurant or their hotel with pride.
Yeah, I put a couple pieces of their website in this thing that were really kind of interesting, how they communicated this and what they showed for it. Yeah, so Tourism Tofino really worked with them to develop and share content that communicated the purpose and impact of the program. They did some coordinated social media efforts. Now, this was all approved by the nation. They were shared on the channels they wanted to share it. They were very much in control of the message. In fact, what Tourism Tofino did is they supported this by helping contract a social media person. So that kind of like just, you know, so it's not us, but somebody in between all of us, right? So that was really a key piece, and it was a very strong person. But yeah, they really developed content that was intentionally rooted in authenticity and meaning, rather than focusing solely on tourism promotion. And when you look at their feeds, I mean, you really see like beautiful posts, and it makes you want to go there. Like it makes you feel like you want to be a part of the land. It's really well done. So they connected people to place. And then this digital presence they also put it on their website. So the other thing that Tourism Tofino did is they said, if you're in the Ally program, we're also going to feature you on our website so that when visitors come and they want to support businesses that support Indigenous, then you can search them up here and you can find them and go to these places. So that is also another page that's in here as well. So it's a way that tourism can help market this. In our world too, we're supposed to really, like, as part of reconciliation, support Indigenous businesses, and we feature them on our website. We don't have a lot here, right? Like that are front facing with the tourism stuff. So if we can add to that, you know, not just Indigenous businesses, but businesses that support Indigenous would be a really good thing. Yeah, this one here, social media example, I'll wrap up really quick. You guys can read this yourselves, but it's really beautiful. It shares the language. It shares about Guardians and their programs. There's some stages to the Allies program that they saw. There was early adopters, people that are your friends already, businesses that already benefit from Indigenous business. Those guys will be the first ones to sign up. Then they said that they saw the observers, the ones that wanted to see it working first before they signed up. And then they had the FOMO group, if you're missing out. Right? And then there will always be those who choose not to participate for whatever reason. And that's acceptable. You know, it's a voluntary initiative. And I think that's key because then you don't get the backlash on things, right? So yeah, it just really recognizes that organizations may have different circumstances and priorities. It's as simple as that. One thing that they did at a team to Tofino, we kind of structured it to visitors, but even the grocery store got involved down there, the co-op, which is a testing point because groceries are pretty expensive, right? Yeah. So what they did down there is they created a card for residents. So if you have a resident card, you weren't charged the 1%. Anybody who didn't have that card, that was billed on the groceries from down there. So yeah, so there's kind of how the contributions are collected notes, benefits to participating businesses we kind of went over. This last few pages are stats and graphs for you guys. So it's been a couple of decades.
For the area, the
Yeah.
data, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm like spent a couple of decades in accounting and finance. The hotel industry alone, this is public record, 2024. Their hotel revenue was 65 million and another 65 million next year. So, I mean, that's just hotels. That's not all the other businesses. And then we included some Northern BC stats, some stuff about Tofino that's different than us. And yeah, that's pretty much what that program looks like. So yeah, I mean, really, we recognize that any future direction must really be led by the nation with community information and then grounded in your values and priorities and what you'd like to do and where we can help really.
Yeah, and tourism could support should we like to move in the direction.
I think
Yeah.
we kind of looked at something like this previous, even with the city, to kind of like making a video essentially about us, and then businesses would kind of have that designation if they, but we were looking at piecing it together. It's just,
Hmm.
You know, things change, but this is great. Another nation has essentially built the foundation and done it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
There's a connection there that I do have that we could follow up with, and that is Saya
go ahead.
from Tofino
Yeah,
to see how they did and the challenges and stuff. we could
Exactly,
Be able to
yeah.
help with.
Excellent to follow up with your connection. And as we can tell by the Vino Tourism, they've already created a model of excellence.
Yeah.
We're not trying something out for the new time where we might not have the proof of concept. It's been done pretty well by Tourism Tofino. So with this document, it's just something that you can let marinate for a while. And if you have any questions or require anything else from us, we're more than happy to answer those. And we know that with past leadership with Tourism Prince George and past staff there's been a real strong relationship with the Lheidli today, and that's something we are absolutely committed to maintaining.
Yeah.
Definitely. No, thank you. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the-
Yeah, it's like that in the.
Pretty good, yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you every time.
Thank you, everybody.
No, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Christina.
Yeah,
It's like,
and-
we've been working about 8 of the last 9 evenings on this, so.
Yeah, no,
That's the beast
have-
games.
yeah, no, that looks great. Like it's really good job. And also, thank you for the treat.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
It's gonna be good.
You guys have a great day.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
When you're out of here before 8 p.m.
Yeah, no.
Probably not, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Might have to send in more chocolate.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, to, it
Yeah.
wouldn't be a bad idea for us to figure out how they rebuilt all of their board.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Not me.
They,
Yeah.
I
It's warm in here.
only want them.
I'd be driving with my head over the window like Ace Ventura.
I know, right?
Everything.
Yeah. Know exactly what you mean. Then you just pop the little side vent right at your feet. It actually helps out a lot.
I do, it's
Yeah, I
already
think that
open.
Yeah.
Actually, the side window vent too is really helps too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, Chrissy Berry, eh?
I was looking at their Instagram page.
You guys better eat the chocolate because it's starting to get soft already.
Everybody's like, yeah.
Hello.
It's a, either one of those, you like, sure.
Oh, it's because be back here. I worked here when it was the Work BC office. So I need to see it in a different light. Yeah, different.
Do you know if there's one or do you want a quick round table?
Our roundtable will be amazing.
Miranda?
Miranda. Council.
I'm Nasir Ahmed, Director of Finance and Compliance and Acting Executive Director.
I'm Chrissie Berry. I'm the Executive Director with Downtown Prince George. I've been with the organization for just over a year now.
Keep going, Logan.
And Crystal Gibbs Council.
Tashina Seymour Council.
Doug Olson Council.
The Clay Downey Council.
Jamie Bird Council.
Meet everybody.
And we got Shahid over here helping.
Oh, we've been chatting a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, you got the table.
Perfect. Okay. Before we start, I just want to thank everyone for the opportunity to speak today. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to meet with you on your territory and to introduce our organization and the work that we're doing with Downtown Prince George. My goal today is simply to share who we are, the services and supports we provide to members, and some of the ways those services might be valuable to Indigenous businesses and organizations operating within our downtown boundary. And I also hope this is an opportunity to begin building a relationship in the spirit of reconciliation, learn more about your priorities, and explore future opportunities to work together. So we do have board of directors. Go back a little bit. So we are a nonprofit association. We do support about 250 property owners and 450 plus businesses within those 250 properties. Our board of directors right now are President is Owen Foley with Nancy O's and Batula Burning. Vice President is Darren Lowe with City and Ashley Furniture. Treasurer is Derek Doherty with MNP, and our Secretary is Garrett Dobson with Batula Burning. Our other directors for last year included Kathy Carlson, Leah King, John Kaysen, Valerie Eberhair, Martin Krell, and Shonda Shaw. Leah and Martin did resign from their board position at our AGM last week, 2 weeks ago. So there is room. We're always looking for board members. Our team is very small, but very mighty. So I am the only full-time employee, and Wendy and Teresa both work part-time, and they handle all of our events and marketing, creative stuff, special projects coordinator. So that's all of our clean team projects and things like that. Right now, we're fortunate to have the Canada Summer Jobs Grant to have a couple of summer staff, but they're only with us for 8 weeks. So we are definitely putting them to work for those 8 weeks. So this is a map of what the C1 zone looks like, which is the zone that we take care of. It's a little bit funny in its shape, and part of that just comes from initially when it was being drawn in 1991, there were businesses that they didn't want to pay the additional levy. So what happens with those properties within that zone is there's an additional bylaw levy on the property taxes. The city collects that, they give that to us. It's about half of our operating costs for the year, or revenue, I should say. And so in the creation of the boundary, there were certain businesses that didn't want to pay that, so they weren't included, as well as we don't include residential. Read that from here, but ultimately our mission is to improve and promote Prince George's downtown. So we want to, through collaboration, partnership, advocacy efforts, and ongoing vitality of downtown PG members. So we're always hoping to attract people downtown. We're always hoping to bring the public downtown, whether that's for an event or a sale someone's having, or whatever that looks like, and then hopefully keep them downtown, right? We want to support our businesses in that way. We have recently attracted some new businesses to come into the downtown, so they've signed leases, and so that's great to see that stuff growing as well. We do have a community and business newsletter, and so the community one, they both go out once a month. The community one is where you'll find all of the specials or promotions that any of the businesses are offering. And the business one is more things like, talks about our graffiti program, reminds people about the AGM upcoming and sort of those things. We try to keep that one, 2 or 3, maybe 4 things per newsletter, just because I know everybody gets 100 newsletters and sometimes that's pretty daunting to go through. So last year, these were kind of the programs that we ran, or some of them anyway. So Summerfest, which we've run every year for many, many years. Last year was at Veterans Plaza. Winterfest, which isn't included on here, but that happens in February. So we just did that this year at the Civic Center. And part of that was that we do, normally there would be ice sculpting involved, and our ice sculptor moved to Mexico, as you do. And so we didn't have anyone to do our ice playground. And so we thought, well, the Civic Center has that skating rink. And it was great. And given the winter that we had, which wasn't very wintry, I think the ice sculptures would have been a nightmare. So really grateful for that. Plaid Friday is our version of Black Friday. And so we expanded a little bit last year, and we're going to do the same thing this year. So we will walk the streets, our plaid patrol, up and down between 4 and 6. And then we'll also have a booth at the Civic Light Up until about 8 o'clock. And people can collect plaid bucks. So what they are is it's $5 off any of the downtown businesses. The businesses then submit those to us and we reimburse them for that cost. It's just a way to kind of help them be a little bit more competitive for Black Friday, because they can't compete, nor should they have to, with the Amazons, Walmarts, et cetera, of the world. And so that's just our little extra way of helping to support them. Last year, we made the plaid dollars valid for the entire weekend, and that's the most plaid bucks we've received back since the inception of this program. So it's a great change. I'll just chat quickly about the bike valet. The bike valet, for anyone who doesn't know, last year we were at 6 events, and you can leave your bike with us. So you can come to the event, check your bike in, and there's staff there that will hang on to it and watch it, and it doesn't cost anything. And then when you're finished at the event, you come back, you give them their little valet tag, and they give you your bike, and away you go. So, yeah, so here's the annual events. So Winterfest, Summerfest. Fall Fest has also undergone a bit of a change. And so it used to be that we had a booth at the farmer's market the Saturday before Thanksgiving. in kind of looking at our events and what our goals are and are we accomplishing them, I definitely felt like Fall Fest, people who are coming to the farmer's market this Saturday before Thanksgiving are probably coming anyway to the farmer's market. I didn't feel like we were effectively bringing more people downtown. So we did have that booth last year. We won't this year, but we had a sip into fall contest. So we had the restaurants and the cafes create a seasonal drink. People come down, try them, enter to win a gift card. The business got some marketing dollars from us out of the deal. And that just helped bring people down kind of all month long. And so that was much more successful. And so I'm excited to continue that again this year. Yeah, so here's the bike rally. This is kind of what our setup looked like last year. We will still have that same big red tent this year. We've already done our first event June 5th and 6th. There won't be a C-can this year, and that's just because we realized that as much as it seems like a great idea on paper, you actually can't fit that many bikes in a C-can. So we've got enough event tents that if it was raining or something, we could pop them up and keep everybody covered. So yeah. The other part of my job is advocacy, and I honestly spent most of last year engaged in that kind of stuff. And so it started out, that letter that you see that's up there was a letter to mayor and council to come for a walk through the alleyways. So previously we received funding for a graffiti abatement program. So we worked with activators. So you have men coming out of the judicial system looking for legitimate employment. And so we worked with them. They came and covered up the graffiti, and it was really, really successful. In 2022, the city pulled the funding, and I don't know why that happened. I wasn't here then. So last year, I invited all of mayor and council to come for a walk just to look at the graffiti. We did have somebody with DART who was doing it really for the cost of materials and supplies because he is a wonderful human. But when he had to retire really suddenly, we were kind of left with nothing. And so all of mayor and council and some of senior administration of the city did come for a walk. By the time we did, those crossroads had already burned. And so the conversation, I'm not going to say shifted, but expanded. And so they really got to see kind of firsthand the graffiti, the burn marks on the buildings, because they all have them, even ones that are black to begin with, you just can't see them. You know, and even just, you know, some of the stuff happening in the alleyways, some of the stuff on the sidewalks, the biohazards and things like that, that we're all tasked with working together on. We did work in partnership with the chamber on the Safe Streets rally. And so really bringing that to kind of the public forefront. What we found is that kind of the back end channels with the city of Prince George, we weren't really getting anywhere, kind of being stonewalled a little bit. And so we brought it kind of into that public sphere, and that seems to have been the right move, at least on our part, because we actually saw a lot of change almost right away. And so we've just kind of continued that with meetings with the province, with the feds, and all of that kind of stuff. And then we were excited that this year they did restore our graffiti program. So we did get a grant for that. And so that is up and running. And so, yeah, very excited about that. So we have a series of grants. So with the exception of the facade program, the rest of them are our micro grants. So they're up to $500. They are once per lifetime for the business, with the exception of broken windows, which is twice. I am looking at potentially revamping that in 2027, but that's for when we get there. And so businesses just come to us, and you know, beautification can include anything from flowers to window painting to, you know, pretty lights, kind of anything that makes the outside of your building look that much nicer and more inviting. And we want to definitely encourage that. Events, pretty straightforward. Marketing promotions, could be digital marketing, could also be things like signs, sandwich boards, that kind of stuff. Safety is anything from cameras, gates, lights, kind of, you know, door locks, any of that kind of stuff. E-commerce, which we don't see very many, which of course would be online, and then the broken window. The facade improvement grant is actually through NDIT, and so that is it's 25% of the cost of your redoing the facade on your building, up to a maximum of $5,000. And so we actually had two last year, and we already have a couple on the go this year, and so we're excited to see that. And then our clean team. Our clean team is probably what we're the most proud of. So we work with DART. DART does our alleyways every morning. So they come at least for 2 hours. They're usually here at 3 or 4 in the morning, and they're clearing out the large debris, picking up a lot of the garbage, pallets, shopping carts, things like that. So when the goal is that when business owners arrive, there isn't anything blocking their way into their building. we work with the brain injury group to do the litter cleanup on the sidewalk. So I'm sure everybody has seen them in the busy vest pulling the garbage can. So there's 8 of them right now, and they're actually all on my payroll. So they are actual employees of downtown Prince George. We work with the brain injury group to administer that program. That program started out as 3 mornings a week, and now it's 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. And so it's great. Again, giving employment to someone who might not be able to get traditional employment, and they can work, you know, I have some of them that work 54 hours in a pay period, and I have some that work 3, and that's totally fine. We're happy to have them. And then we contract Acme to clean up the biohazards. They do that 7 days a week, 365. So here's some of the numbers from last year. So last year we cleaned up 6,485 needles, 6,627 biohazards, 3,744 garbage bags, 56 shopping carts, and 60 pallets, among other things that just aren't recorded here. It's definitely a good impact. There is a downtown strategy team that was, I guess, kind of created out of the city's downtown strategy reports that they did. And so it's led by us, but there is a couple of managers with the city of Prince George, Chamber is there, tourism is there. We do meet quarterly. I will say there's not a lot of resources allocated to this committee. And so we are definitely getting things done on the list, but it's slower than we would like. And so we are working on some of that as well. So these are kind of the principles of that strategy. So a lot of the things that our organizations are already working on are already under this. And so that is a lot of how we are advancing sort of that strategy. And then there's certainly some things that we would love to be able to get to, but we've got a very small team. 2 of the other members are not-for-profits, and then you've got managers of the city who everyone's doing off the side of their desk. So yeah. So this is what our 2026 budget looks like. So I'll be presenting to Mayor and Council on Monday for this. Just kind of gives you a bit of an overview. So we actually spend the most money on our Clean and Safe program. It's almost a third of our budget, and as much as I would love for that money to go somewhere else if we didn't need the clean team, like I said, we're very proud to have them, and they do a great job. I can't imagine what it would look like if they weren't here doing that work. So. For 2026, so I mentioned the bike valet is back. So we were there at Go by Bike Week. We will be back at Canada Day at the park. So we have actually expanded outside of downtown this year because I really want to raise the profile. So we will be at Canada Day. We will be at Summerfest. We will be at a couple of things going at the city. We'll be there for the Corn Festival. We'll be there at the end of September for Truth and Reconciliation at the park. Some other stuff. Summerfest is the one I'm going to plug right now because it's coming up. It's July 10th and 11th. This is the first year we've done a 2-day event. And so Saturday will still be your family-friendly activities. We were fortunate enough to get sponsors. So the mini rail, face painting, the petting zoo, and the balloon creations are all free of cost to anyone who comes. And on the Friday, we are doing an outdoor dinner under the stars. It might be under the slightly darkened sky because it's July, but it will be outside. The White Goose is coming, and they have created like a special menu for it. So it'll be 5-course dinner, art, live music, decorations, just kind of like a really elegant dinner experience. So we do have tickets right now on sale on our website. So yeah, so we'll see how it goes. It's our first time, but we're pretty excited about it. So yeah, happy to answer any questions if there are any. And
Oh, I didn't know all the services that you guys actually did.
so you
That was
guys are
all.
also included in our boundary. This office is in our boundary. So all we need is a membership form.
Miranda.
But yeah.
Oh, thanks. I was just going to comment more, just to thank Downtown Prince George for a lot of their work and trying to keep downtown clean and safe, and yeah, just seeing your budget for the safety and clean. I know we were involved in the public safety committee together, and just a lot of complex things going on in our downtown. And like you said, this office is within the borders of the downtown on our territory. So yeah, it's not an easy thing. So just thank you and your small team for your work.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah. Thanks. Well, we are right across the street.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, we're neighbors. So
Oh.
yeah, so it's good.
Oh, but you're by, like the record store and everything.
Yeah, we're just before it on the corner.
Yeah.
People come to our office looking for that record store all the time, actually. Okay. Thank you very
Thank you very much. Thanks for going.
Have a good afternoon.
Yeah, you too.
Hey,
Okay. Yeah, so I did have the First Nations Election Act survey on a previous agenda, and I unfortunately couldn't come to that meeting, so it was, I think the timing of it was the survey had just gone out maybe. I can't quite remember, so this is maybe a bit late in the game, but I thought I'd just share it nonetheless, and maybe other council might have thoughts or whatnot. So the reason I wanted to add it is because I was getting just thoughts and feedback from community members that they were really confused with the survey, and maybe like I think we had good intentions of here's kind of an incentive of $25, fill out the survey and kind of get like a little gift or a prize, and some members have felt that that was like kind of trying to buy their
Yeah.
vote or what, even though it wasn't a vote.
Yeah, it wasn't a vote, it was feedback, but
Yeah.
I heard the same feedback from you, from the feedback form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I just kind of wanted to share that at council, and that just to say, I guess.
It's been heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry that.
heard it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
A lot of confusion about it.
There has been.
I've been getting a lot of phone calls and texts too, as well as that they think we're just gonna go with that and not finish at an election. So, like, no, this first instance that is just
This was just feedback to see what,
I not
yeah, to see what community thoughts were.
on the customer.
Okay.
And they were like, oh, okay. So yeah, there was a lot of confusion on that survey.
Yeah, I think the problem is that we didn't give them any information on what we were asking them. It was just, we threw out a survey with all of these words and we
But hey,
didn't
fill it out,
explain-
$25.
Yeah, for one, we didn't give them
Yes.
information on what one was and what the other was. And, you know, our intentions, like moving forward, if we did do this one, eventually we would still do that one. But yeah, no, I have heard from a few members too, where they're like, I didn't understand it, so I thought it was safer to vote no. And I was like, it wasn't a vote, it was just a survey. We were just trying to get feedback, but like, so.
Yeah, we have actually the results for the in-town and out-of-town members. I gave you this, which your documents, the other documents. Other documents.
On.
So-
Yes, it's. I will have yard.
Oh, wow. Please, thank you.
What is it?
Pass it around.
I know it's not spicy because you don't like spice.
And
It's jerky.
It's cowboy candy, turkey.
just give me a minute, I'll pull out the result report.
Good. Thank you.
Thank
you. No, we know.
I don't know, I like it. It feels more real than the other weird jerky that like it's actually meat.
We have 264 participants.
264 surveys, we got that?
And out of them, 136 were in town. Out of 136, 78 voted yes and 58 voted no. Out of town, we got 128 participants. Out of them, 71 voted yes and 57 voted no. So in total, we have 149 yes and 115 no. Total of 264.
That's very close.
Yeah.
But once again, also signed without the greater context of the whole.
Yeah, not knowing exactly what they were asked to give input on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Sorry, what's up for the survey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think From my understanding, even so with the survey, even if everyone voted yes, you go to the government and say like, this is an avenue we'd like to go with, the First Nations Election Act, we'd still have to do more engagement in the community to show that we made those efforts. So, and again, that wasn't quite clear in the survey either. So I don't know what the next steps are.
That was the first step of the engagement.
Yeah,
When
that was the first
when
step.
we talked about it in the meeting, that was the first step of the engagement. And then once we got the results from that, we would know that we could move forward with doing more engagement and more information. That was the intention anyway.
Yeah. But we were just talking about that this morning.
Yeah, so that is for the other session though.
Yeah, but to bring, see if the election dude was available to come and explain what it was about at the AGM.
Just more information, the better for all members.
Explain how it worked and what it
Okay,
is.
I will contact Ron Lofer again to see his availability for the August 8th.
Oh, yeah. Or 9th.
And not business day.
Oh, yeah, okay. It is more of a fun day, isn't it? Yeah. Waved my hand. That's what happened.
You're full of hot air. Like,
Oh, yeah. It's warm in here. It's not my fault.
Sharing with everybody else.
No, I'm good, thank you.
So we, again, kind of on this theme of feedback that, so with the all elders gathering, some of the feedback that I got, and again, maybe other council have thoughts, was that, again, like, I think we're learning communication better and we try our best and sometimes make mistakes. And now we have a communications person, Jen Rubidoux, so that's good. But I think, yeah, there was some confusion at the elders gathering that it was kind of intended to be adult only, no kids. That was kind of a request from elders that to have a space just for themselves. We have lots of community events where we've got kids and youth and babies and adults and everyone together, which is great, but this was just for the elders. And that the confusion, when one member said, oh, well, where's Carrie? Where's the elders coordinator? And tried to explain this is a bit different. It's not through the Elders Society. And then they saw Carrie and then she left. And so tried to explain that. And then yeah, about the kids. So yeah, I guess just maybe going forward, if we're gonna keep up with this, that I guess we'll just communicate better. And then another comment was if it was like again, I think our intentions were good, was to try to involve all the elders, because not everyone's involved in the Elders Society, and that's all fine. But then there was a comment like, well, now you're creating division, like you got this elders group and this elders group, and now people have to decide who they're going to choose. So again, I just wanted to share that was the feedback I got. So I don't know what's the best way, what's the right way, what's the right thing to do.
Working on the communication.
Yes.
So that person, whoever told them out of this office it has been communicated. It's for 50 plus, no kids, and that's what we've heard from the elders. The feedback I got a lot of was they thought it was the Elder Society, so they didn't want to come. So I told them, no, it's something Chief and Councillor are doing, just elders get together, visit, and do whatever, like elders do the agenda. And I did get the question of, of spouses. I said, I never said nothing about spouses. I said, as long as the elder is 50 plus, they can bring their spouse. We didn't say nothing about their age. But just no kids. A lot of the elders that were there really appreciated it. And I had one comment at the meeting there. They're going, listen. I said, there's someone, can you hear that? And because they had soft music playing. And I was straining my hearing and just straining. And I said, I can't hear it. What's playing? Because that's the point. They're all having conversations. They're all talking. They're all laughing. And then they're all communicating together. And I'm like, oh. That just that comment alone has made this worth it when they. We'll do better communications for members, like, and it's for all the members, the society, there are society members, it's there, the,
Half of the elders there were
yeah.
from the
society.
society.
So it's just for everybody to come, is this, we just gotta communicate that out better, it's, we're not labeling anybody. This is just for, like, well, kinda, lately to Nate elders and their spouses, they're just
Yeah,
better communication.
because also right at the beginning, there was a couple elders that were in there that actually weren't nation members too, that ended up having to leave. So it does, the communication piece will definitely tighten that up. And I think it's like anything, it's the first, we're just starting it. There's gonna be, yeah, some bumps and learning curves, but I think the intentions behind it are all really good. I don't think anybody intended on hurting anybody's feelings or making people feel that it's one and not the other. I think that we need to communicate. Yeah, I think it's growing pains. Any new event, any new group that we start, in the beginning, there's always some miscommunication, and it's really good that we've gotten the feedback that we got, because then we can make it better. And as for elders having to choose one or the other, they don't have to choose. They can participate in both. It's just us providing more spaces for them to gather with one another, right? That was the intention anyways.
Relate to do better. And so,
Mhm.
yeah, okay, chair. Okay. And so another question I got from a couple of elders was for elders that live in town, support with I guess it's kind of like housing renovations, housing maintenance. They had said that if they could live on reserve, they would. Where like it's our responsibility to take care of the houses, and if something breaks, then we fix it. But for them, basically having to live in town, a lack of housing, that they're elder, limited income, to just be able to keep up with their house maintenance.
I think it would depend if they're renting or they don't.
Yeah.
If they're renting, it's up to them.
Exactly.
I just wanna, it was something that I had brought up in the past. Because it is true, right? If there was housing for everybody, most of our elders would live on reserve. But for people, and this necessarily wouldn't be for renters, because renters, your landlord is responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of your furnaces and your hot water tanks and the renovations. But for homeowners, like, I know that, I mean, and we have talked about it and said we would explore it later, but it might be the opportunity to do what some of the other nations do. They do a lottery annually where they have so many applicants that submit for renovations, and the nation pulls 5 or 10 names out, and they are allotted a certain amount of dollars, whatever.
A certain amount of dollars you can.
Yeah, like I think one nation that I was following, which is somebody that I know is from there, but they were doing $10,000.
Yeah.
And they did 5, yeah. They did 5 annually.
Well, and housing's always been a major thing for everybody. Like I know, like Sycuz, McCausland, they do matching. Like if you can get a bank loan, they'll do matching. I think Sycuz does like tens of thousands of dollars. Like McCausland, I think does 30. So they'll match $30,000 for a down payment on a house for members. But yeah.
I like that lottery idea.
So the lottery idea is, it's a good start, but I think like moving into, just looking at things like this, like the housing pieces, because I know that with McKinsey and Sycuz, the person has to be able to use a bank. Like the person has to be able to have like it'd be like going through a mortgage through a bank. You have to have the down payment. They help with that.
Yeah.
They do matching, and then but it could be that could be a type of lottery to start, and hopefully we get to a point where it can just be there for, it's like a first time home buyer thing. That's what it is. Yeah.
How do we make sure that they're spending it on renovations?
That's what I was just gonna ask.
Well, I probably just put it towards their bill or something, right?
It's submit receipts
And yeah, or it would be something that we could
Or
work out with
quotes.
housing or.
or a contractor that's through or something, like, I don't know. I think it's something to explore. Where's Ash? No, it's,
Yeah.
You
for
could
the
actually probably just do
organization
it
that
to
I'm
equal
referring
or
to,
something.
theirs is a $10,000, and a $10,000 renovation and I think they do 5 a year. And
Yeah.
so they get so many applicants. Have the same.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I know what you're
It's a
saying.
lottery, so
Yeah,
well, millionaires can win the lottery, right?
yeah,
I know, I never win a lottery, so.
Mhm.
yeah,
Is there?
It should be a elder owned house.
Is there?
exactly, yeah.
No, it's across the board, like, cause I know 2 people that did,
Will limit.
and they were not elders.
Well, it could be a homeowner lottery grant or something like that.
Yeah, we could do whatever.
Yeah, we can do whatever.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I think that's a cool idea too.
like it's not a crazy.
Just gotta make sure the money man says we got enough money to do something like.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I was asking to Crystal.
I know, he was staring at
Do
me.
you have any budget for that? Or we should seek for any
You
any grant?
can bring us. Well. the grant-
Well, always look for a grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, always look for grants.
But,
After some grant, I can work with Chantal to
Yeah.
look for, is there any off-reserve housing grant?
Exactly,
they do 5, there was 5 a year that they do.
which is 50,000.
And you can only, like, the same person couldn't apply 2 years in a row, like
Mhm.
it's,
Yeah.
they had to.
Once you get it, you've had it.
Yeah, type of deal.
And it's something to look like what nation is it? If you pass that information on to like Ash or some water somewhere and they did a little bit of
It's a
digging.
38.
Yeah, if it's a treaty aid thing, like, just to see how it's structured and see different methods that we can do it.
Mhm.
Because guaranteed there's different ways, right?
Yeah.
But once again, money, a good solid plan and then putting it out.
Yeah.
Jamie's grant, 50 grand a year, Jamie.
You're just like.
Thank you. And then just the last one, D, just wanted to check in with Chief on
I
the,
did find part of it.
It's
I still got like eight boxes left to go.
there and it's here in the meeting minutes.
Still have blood on them.
Blood on them?
Oh my God, no, it's big. Going through all them papers. I found one in one box, and then 4 boxes later, I found the other part.
Oh,
This is all the stuff that was in.
One for yours.
All of that stuff should be with, I see Kenorism that took the minute.
It in the archive, the digital, but I checked the files as well, I couldn't find anything.
Oh, and Joe doesn't have it. I will- Let's here look through.
Because I think at that time, we were not having those archives like we have right now, the digital and
so I'm just curious, like, so to incorporate the name on their patch, but like, I guess kind of wanting to talk to the lawyer about whether that was like an indefinite, like grant of permission to use the logo.
Did you send it to, not yet? Okay.
I'll be sending because we found it yesterday, actually, so I'll be sending it tomorrow to the lawyer.
Okay.
Doug came in there yesterday and said, you got paper in your hand, what?
I can drop that chocolate between my legs. So it's all melted.
And I'm continue looking through the boxes, because I found one part of it in one box, and one in it, I don't know why they were in separate boxes that far apart. Things are actually pretty sweet. And Ash to send that to the lawyer. Okay. Oh, grad. It's testy tomorrow.
Yeah,
When did the talk is
theirs was last week.
last week?
It was PGSS's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You want to do that, guys?
It was only a couple of years, wasn't it?
Yeah. And graduated.
Years ago for you, Doug. 33 years ago now. I don't think good with numbers.
Like that old now, eh?
I don't know, I just like,
Finding me?
yeah, exactly. Find me. Hold on.
Yeah, whatever happened to the weed dispensary?
Remember those two were supposed to take control of it and do it, and they never did it.
Oh.
Okay, so that goes to the lawyer tomorrow. Which one? Okay, the next one we have is discussion on council proposed culturally grounded governance and administration structure. I don't know who's taking lead on that one.
I think me and Crystal and Doug all are to an extent, but we do need that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we put up.
We do need the PowerPoint. You got the PowerPoint?
It's funny because I was like,
What is this?
You know, you're like, oh yeah, remember? Yeah,
I was honestly thinking it was the Jamie Starrett.
yeah. It's,
Yeah,
I'd say 5-minute bathroom break maybe,
yeah.
while she heats it's all up.
Think of a smaller name.
It has a smaller name. There is a smaller name. We just gotta, we'll show you.
Yeah.
Doug has to pronounce it though.
Actually, I was looking at it. Yeah, it's, and I thought I could,
You actually can, you get the sound for sure.
Have the other song that goes with it.
So you can read it.
Well, there's, I didn't want to bring it up, but there's a name on it.
Yes, did you see it?
Yeah, that's, that's exactly it. That's why I didn't mention anything. That's why I was looking at you and being like, wait a second.
Be nice to have some time to
Yeah,
read it, ponder on it.
exactly.
Well, the annex.
Can't talk about it while we're on.
No, not
Because
public,
There's names on it.
because there is names on it.
So,
Yeah. Oh, that's a 10.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's a 10. So am I gonna Vanna White it? Go.
I thought I got to be Van. I called it first.
how do you pronounce this? Clouds? Which one?
The last 10.
Klaus.
That's many.
Klaus.
That's the pen.
Klaus. See?
Yeah, that's the 10. But that's the 10.
Yeah, okay, so I did it. I'm not doing it again.
We started here.
I'll wait for the others that say it properly. No, one here.
I gotta look at my notes because I did make notes for this.
Oh, you didn't make a note?
I did.
Do you need any other thing like,
I can
Wait,
start.
Please start.
that is better, sir. If you go closer. probably
Well, yeah,
you
I can read it from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can read it from here. I don't.
I
Oh,
can't
I
read.
could
it from
barely
here.
read
There's
it,
no
I'm not
way.
gonna lie.
I can read chief and council.
Oh, yeah. With the status, I don't think.
Are we doing this?
I'll start it
Will
out
they, will
and
they come back?
then, we can. I can just pass it off whenever it is. All right, take me to water.
Where did I notice it? Oh, they're in that. Okay, yeah, so really, I'm just gonna.
I didn't think you were gonna do that.
So that's, let's see.
So I think we're just kind of going over the presentation start.
Yeah.
And these are pieces of it. Look out here. Because when you go through the, you actually go through the charter.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of pages. That's a
Yeah.
lot to go through. That's why we were trying to simplify it and just give like the gist of it.
Yeah.
And,
then the
essentially
workshop
say
will be
there's-
the PCRS. This is where we're, the direction we're
Mhm.
going.
So this is the summary for the public session.
Yeah,
Not to the.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the overview and whole idea.
Mhm. Exactly. It's just kind of putting the overview and the idea. And that was to say to keep moving forward.
Yep.
Essentially. You're not limping as bad. I think you're just faking it. Oh, now it
I was
comes on.
trying to walk on my friend, but doctor told me yesterday, if you start like walking this,
Mhm.
then your ankle will be gone. Now I'm
So
tolerating the pain,
Mhm.
but like it's better to walk.
I hope it gets figured out. I really do.
Yeah. Oh, then I will get the orthopedic.
It's just weird how it was just an overnight.
Yes.
Yeah, like.
That's what doctor is also confused about, like,
You slept wrong, like something went on.
no, I was walking every day, like at night, like evening.
Mhm.
One day I came and I found like something like pressure on my knee. I stopped walking for 2 days. Third day it started hurting, and in the middle of the night, I was trying to get off my bed and it got locked here. And I couldn't move, nothing. Then I went at 1 a.m. I went to hospital.
Hey.
And
And ever since.
that's as usual. They made me wait for 4 hours and then gave me Advil and go back to your family doctor.
Oh, yeah.
4 hours is actually quite quick.
Yeah. Well, especially when.
6+ hours, 8+ hours.
Well, especially when you're not experiencing, like, you're not screaming in pain. I walked in there before and I'm like,
I was crying.
I was like, my heart's a little off. And they're just like, come on in. And I'm walking by people that are like holding like towels around bloody arms and stuff. I was like, oh, geez, I feel bad.
I was literally crying, but then I learned, like, if you have this sort of pain, it's better to call 911. And then you get the special treatment.
Oh, yeah. Brought in by an ambulance, right? You're young, you'll heal.
Hopefully.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No kidding.
Just 2 windows over there and 2 windows over there. If you can slide them down or something, just to have something just pull out that
Now,
thin air.
now is what on that.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, somebody walking by was trying to work on it, but apparently they only did one little hole instead of 4.
He failed.
Yeah, right?
It gets so warm in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Only the population.
Mhm. Yeah, because like even if one of those opened, it would be nice just to have a portable unit. Just for in the meantime.
Just do it, just bring a big block of ice in here and set it down there and put the fan behind it. That would do the trick. So instead of dark chocolate, bring a block of ice next time. We don't need the dark
Yeah.
chocolate, we need a block of ice. Got the fan.
I kind of want them both.
Okay, next time, more dark chocolates, okay.
It's fine, we got chocolate today.
I dropped a piece of chocolate without noticing, so when I stood up, I had chocolate melted.
Oh,
When I was wiping, chocolate everywhere.
I remember one time I sat. Also chocolate.
You did. I don't like how you make an excuse for what you did. Everybody smelled it. Oh, yeah. Nope. Like to have fun here. You got it all? Can you read all that?
Sort of.
It's more the concept.
Yeah. This is a brief overview of what we've done, right?
It is a brief overview, yeah.
Yes.
I just be like, see, look at the screen, that's what we did. Have a good night.
Sorry.
Yeah. Feel the temperature just from.
You do right away.
It's like muggy.
It is. Stale air.
How do we wanna do this?
Okay, Chris.
Like I said, he's gonna
Does
start.
have the table.
Oh, yeah, okay. So you have on the screen for your viewing pleasure, something we've been taking a lot of time working on with great people. We had Nasir Zawad, Robert. So we're tasked with looking at a new kind of administration structure. Well, us work together, we help one another. That's essentially where it is. The concept comes from water, and I try not to butcher the name.
Can you say that again?
I think it's like, well, that's a 10.
That's a 10.
Yeah.
All I can see in the screen is a boy's belly. We work together, we help one another.
It's
Yeah, the audio file. Audio file as well, if you want, like, for the pronunciation.
Can you
That's what I told them.
share it maybe? Does that work?
Yes.
Should we share the screen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we share the screen for
for the
for
membership.
the membership for public?
Yeah, it's already, they can see it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Very small. Okay.
But should he send us the audio?
Yeah.
I think he's playing it right now.
I can, yeah.
It's equal.
Yes, yes, yes.
The board and speaker.
Yes, the boardroom speaker.
That's okay.
But it's the pronunciation. It's that.
As close as I can get to it.
Who's saying that?
It came from the Lheidli dictionary, but
I feel like that might be.
And only at map also check.
It sounds like media.
Yeah.
Sounds like-
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, we work together, we love one another. So it's like a confluence. It's kind of like a watershed model, which comes from, well, where we come from, confluence, two rivers. So the headwaters are like LTFM membership. Because the watershed is like, who we are. The gathering of the waters, just here is like chief and council. Here's the community come together, take a collective form. And then there's 3 EOs, which is the stewardship of what we help trust. So there's the corporate stewardship, the engineering and business operations, and community services. So it kind of flows. It kind of flows down to the next generations.
Explain what an EO is for members that might.
An executive officer. So there would be 3, because the executive director was 1. This would be kind of dividing it into 3 main parts. So like the 3 streams, which are the 3 stewardships. Yeah, next. So the whole watershed model with the governance, there's the nation structure. So membership's always on top. They're the source of authority. We're elected by them. Chief and council, we're the political authority. We draft laws, policies, strategic plan, take care of budgets, review and termination of the administrative charter, and like intergovernmental relations with everything. Drops down to the three sections. So we got the council and governance structure, which would be like the council secretariat works with chief and council directly, which is kind of, they help draft VCRs, they take care of records, work with the chief negotiator. There's also the 4 standing committees, which we'll get into after the fact. There's going to be a governance and HR committee, a finance and audit committee, infrastructure major projects, and community services, which council members will sit on, but it can never be quorum. So there's just going to be up to 3 council members.
I thought it was 2.
Huh?
Was it 2?
No, it's up to 3 council members with the chief, and council members can only sit on 2 of these boards.
Okay.
But they cannot be affiliated with that if they have. There's a lot there. So the 3 portfolio for the executive officers, we have corporate and stewardship services. They have to have a designation. Executive officer for engineering and business operations, a P engineer is required, so they got to be professional. Executive officer for community services, they need a professional certification. That's an asset as well. And we didn't know where to put human resources because they have to work with all of them. So it's kind of like a shared service with all these 3 EOs. The separate authorities and entities is TANO and the elected lands authority, which they're off to the side. Yes, so this is how it kind of flows down a little bit more. So chief and council, decisions by BCR, duly convened meetings only. The council secretariat reports to council. They're the ones who kind of work alongside council. It's like council's little buddy, like our Shahid. And we got our chief negotiator, which is our chief. And we have secretariat staff. So could be more than just the council secretary, the one. There could be another one as well, because there's a lot of duties to work with either the chief negotiator or council as a whole. The 4 standing committees. So there's 2 to 3 counselors on each standing committee. This is what I mentioned, with the chief as the ex officio. It's worked like that because they can't make decisions. They can't have quorum. So counselors can work on 2 of these committees, 1 or 2, and there's governance and HR committee, the finance and audit committee, the infrastructure and major projects, and intergovernmental relations committee, and community services. So the governance and HR committee, their policy management, they execute performance, admin charter oversight, executive recruitment and conflict and resolution, receives external performance review or recommendations, works with executive officers and the HR department, and holds the dotted line like for relationships. So that's governance and HR. Finance and audit committee, financial oversight essentially, which is the FAL compliance, which is the financial administrative law compliance, annual audits, TANO financial interference, works with the EO and corporate stewardship services, finance manager and director in finance. It's everything to do with finance. To put it like that. Infrastructure and major projects with intergovernmental relations. So capital projects over $1 million with business and project oversight. TANO major projects interface working together. Works with the EO for engineering and business operations. And then community and services committee. They do the programs, health, education, social development, family support oversight, works with the EO of community services. So all the feedback from them come back to council for decision making. So but what they don't tell you here is it's a lot more time.
Yes.
It's going to be more time on counselors to do this job.
So we're going to be more involved in everything that's happening. But yeah, we're going to, he said a lot. It's substantial.
And there's certain council members that will not be able to sit on certain committees due to conflict of interest. So there will be conflicts.
Can you give an example? for the community, like,
I think so. Tashina,
You can use me.
Tashina could be considered a conflict of interest if she sat on the Community Services Committee
Yeah.
because she works underneath it.
Yeah.
So. I guess next, and someone else could take it if you want.
You're doing a good job.
Okay. So here's the executive officer model. There's three of them. And with this model though, everybody has to get along. For this to work, like, well, you have issues, you could have issues with one executive director, but there's three people here now and they all work together. So the executive officer for corporate and stewardship services, they got, CPAs. There's a designation required. There's so many different acronyms. But their core functions are the finance and payroll and FN, FMA compliance, the HR, they take the admin lead. Because HR kind of flows underneath them, but they work with all of them, but the HR still has to have an administration person above them. They do records communication and membership, forestry, fisheries, and GIS, and financial interface for band-owned businesses. The engineering and business operations, PNs required, core functions, capital plan, major projects, over 500,000, feasible design, all the design phases of major projects, grant writing services, infrastructure asset management, including housing, public works, utilities and emergency management, and minor capital projects, IT, intergovernmental relation, the band's point of contact for business development and natural resource referrals, and technical interface for band-owned businesses. That's their silo. And the third silo is community services, which their core functions are community health, working with external agencies like FNHA, Northern Health, social development, income assistance, education, capacity development, language, family support, including MCFD. So it's breaking the executive director role into three, essentially. So they have delegated authority only under their portfolio and under the administrative charter. So they can't, none of them are above each other. They can't delegate authority to anybody as other silo. They all work together, but they can't be like, hey, we're doing this capital project. I'm going to tell you in housing what to do, like kids, or the family services, sorry. So where are we with this? I'm looking at the bottom here. Oh, yeah. So they're accountable to council. Each EO is accountable to council via the governance and HR committee, plus their portfolio committee. So accountable to council based on the portfolios they're holding, the committees they're on. So they work with those certain committees. It seems confusing, but once it's all broken down, it works. So no one EO chairs and EO coordination meetings. The chair rotates.
Yeah.
So all three of them meet to make sure everything's going well, but not one of them chairs all the time. It has to rotate. So each of them act as a chair, like every third time you're gonna be the chair. Assigning authority. All three EOs may hold financial signing authority per authorization matrix. So final approval through FMB, which is confirmed. So FMB has recognized this model of financial management board. And they approve the model because they've seen models like this before through what they've been doing.
There's just the business boards, the EOs serve as subject matter experts on LTFN owned business.
Yeah, and EOs serve as subject matter experts. So all the EOs, part of their duty for their salary is to sit on boards and act as needed. So that's just part of their job now. And council decides cross-portfolio disagreements, or if it escalates to council as articulated options, council decides between options. So if there's anything cross-portfolio disagreements between what's happening there, well, council has the final decision on what's going on. Once again, still draft form, but we're making some headway. The human resources shared. So this is where this kind of comes in with the human resources. So it's a shared model. So, but they have to, human resources has to be underneath somewhere, but they have to work with everybody. So you don't want them to be sitting there and going, oh, I'm under corporate stewardship, but since I'm under here, I'm going to give more preference to them. Essentially, you don't want no conflicts of interest. They work with the three, but there's the governance and HR committee that helps manage that. So the HR functions for recruitment, staffing for all three, onboarding, orientation, training, professional development, workforce succession, cultural safety in the workplace, employee relations, conflict resolution, performance management, support to the EOs and managers, compensation and benefits administration, payroll liaison. So payroll sits with finance, HR policy, employment standards, owing to HNS coordination, confidential personnel records, and HRIS, which is, I'm assuming, some kind of records information systems thing.
So this one, the HR works with all of the above?
Works with all the above and works also with the governance and HR committee, which reports to council. So there's that communication.
What about staff? If they
Pardon?
have an issue with the higher ups?
Yeah.
Is,
Well, that's why there's the dotted line to the governance and HR committee, which reports to council. Yeah, so that's where that kind of side piece
Right.
is.
just so that it's.
Yeah, just so we don't run into issues there. It's to ensure we're trying to make like streams so we can always find solutions to these problems with these.
Just someplace for staff to
Mhm.
go comfortably.
Exactly. And if it's within, there's the three streams, so it kind of helps alleviate that as much as possible. And with the governance and HR committee, we're trying to find solutions to potential problems moving forward, which we're probably going to move into regardless in any new model, but
Oh, yeah.
trying to figure that out first.
Again, there'll be learning curves as we move forward. We're just trying to make.
And nothing of this is final right now. This is still in draft form and still has to be, there's still tweaks and things to hash out. Like
Mhm.
we still would like obviously staff input. We'd like a lot of input from as many people as we can to make this work as
Yeah.
best as it can.
And so it is going to be presented at the staff meeting as well. Just,
26th.
yeah, just for some input and feedback on it.
Because maybe
Some might, yes.
maybe certain silos, depending on what executive officer, maybe certain staff works better with other staff and there might be some movement, or they might say there's too much cross contamination here to move us here. You don't want, you want all lenses on it as much as possible. So. Yeah. Oh. So we're looking at the code protections. So there's different. You want to have protections for the employer and the employee to make everybody here feel safe. So protections for the employer, defined cause of category. So material breach of the admin charter, documented performance failure after a performance improvement plan, conflict of interest violation, loss of required professional designation, conviction of indictable offense, or material misconduct via an HR process. So that's like defined with cause, like we're letting you go with cause. Council approved performance scorecard, annual objectives set by council, performance measured against them, not against personalities. So just a neutral scorecard, like if I don't like Doug as a human being, but he's performing really well, we shouldn't have to let Doug go. Just bringing you in, Doug, no problem.
Thank you.
Fiduciary duty and conflict of interest rules, so. Executive officers owe a duty of loyalty to the nation, declare and manage conflicts, compliance with the COI policy, so it's the conflict of interest rules, they have to really follow, because obviously like with having that type of power, you can fall into bad things at some point, and hopefully never. Professional designation maintenance, so all the CEOs, all the officers have to maintain their designations. So they're such a high standing, they have to maintain their designations. If they lose them, well, they can lose their position. And they gotta be kept in good standing. Confidentiality, notice like mutual binds both parties during and after employment for confidentiality, and for cause removal by simple majority with documented cause findings on record, the nation can actually decisively when warranted. So that's for cause. There's a balance. An executive officer cannot hide behind tenure protection to underperform or breach trust or misconduct. Like on both sides, reference the same documented process and scorecard, the improvement plan. So it just kind of weighs when people are to be at that level to be let go. So that's protections for the employer.
I mean.
It's kind of makes it just more like a team effort instead of a single person effort.
Well, it is, and it's also for the accountability side on both parts. Like we're accountable for our employees and they're accountable to us. So that's the employer.
Yeah, so now I'm like on to.
Protections for the employee. So cause-based termination only. So as we just discussed with the causes, removal only for defined cause in the administration charter. So there's another piece to this, the administration charter. It's a long document. We're not going to go into that today. This is just kind of the brief of where we're at, but it's what, 30 pages or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so the administration charter that was built, it's long. We're still in the draft form.
I'll be honest, I'm still trying to understand some of that stuff.
Well, there's some annexes to it and everything, but the charter defines how administration works, how the hiring processes work, all these pieces. It's all broken down very well into it.
It's really,
So the independent performance review, annual review by an external HR consultant against council approved scorecard. So like we were doing with the executive director before, we were going out and finding an HR company to do a unbiased reporting. So super majority to remove without cause. So to remove somebody without cause, a super majority of council. So super majority, there'd be 9 of us, super majority 6. So 6 would have to sign to remove an executive officer. Notice and severance, define notice and severance. It's a scaled year service that we have that in an annex as well, but essentially it goes up to a couple of years of service. I forget what the model totally is off the top of my head, but it's a formula that you're going to have to really look into it because you're going to have to pay out a lot for these EOs as defined in here. Available independent review for cost termination. So an arbitration panel, like a legal member or community elder 65 plus, reviews the cause findings and becomes public record. Pay continues until final decision if requested by the employee. So that's a for cause. If you're sitting there being like, I don't agree with the for cause that you're charging me with, essentially to let me go, it goes under review and they're paid until that's figured out. Due process, performance improvement plan before any performance-based termination, documented defensible records throughout. An accessible period, defining accessible period, 12 months for rehire before these protections are active. So depending on like years of service, it usually start like with an EO, it'd be like after 12 months, they can start utilizing like, if you get let go at like month 15, well, they can go, well, I don't believe this for cause. So we go through this process. And why these protections exist, the nation has consistently experienced cyclical termination of senior administrators. In time, we have had that, and it is a tough place to be, especially working within a First Nation. The instability harms staff morale, operational continuity, and community confidence. It makes the nation a less credible employer and funding partner. So we want to keep things moving forward, and we want to keep a lot of good employees here as long as possible. Cyclical in HR, you never want to have a revolving door. It looks really bad on the organization. And also we lose a lot of knowledge. These protections are not privileges. They're the mechanisms that lets an executive officer give honest advice and continue their service. So we want honesty with people. We don't want people scared of council or anybody else. We want them to do their roles as best their ability. And hopefully this gives protection to both sides. So we both feel okay about this moving forward. Yeah.
And as noted there, it is a summary and detailed draft is being reviewed by legal counsel, and that's what we're waiting on. And I think we'll come back.
Well, yeah, we have to come back and then there's the numbers piece, but for the 3 EOs we're looking at, because you can go out and find an executive officer, you can, if you like, we may be able to promote from within, and that's if people want to take it. And if people want to take it, we have our hiring, we have our policy to do all this. It's not like I can just go, hey, Doug, you're in this position now. We have the Lheidli policy on hiring. Yep, we have to do all these pieces. We got to do everything by the manual, and they can apply, but if we don't find a good enough person, we'd have to go outside, which costs money because you need an HR firm. So for people at these level, for the EOs, there's 3 of them, and they're at a very high level because we're growing exponentially. So we really need to expand as much as we can on staff, because I know that's a huge workload for one person. Maybe at the 3 it could be better. this would be a really good pilot project, and we always have our model right now to fall back onto.
And again, the EOs are going to be subject matter experts, so that will cut down on consultant fees in certain areas, so got to keep that in mind too. So it does make up for some of the cost of their salary.
Are we gonna look at getting them assistants?
The directors would be their assistants, wouldn't they?
Yeah, because
Yes, are there. For the
there would still be the managers and like directors, and there's still the flow chart underneath them like that.
Oh,
I think during our last conversation too, we said that we could do like a time limit on how long we're gonna try this for, and then
Well, there would be.
It would be a review.
There'd be review period, but it'd be monitoring every, say, quarter.
Yeah.
And there'd be a review period as well. But this all has to go public. It has like membership, staff.
Yeah.
But like we said, this whole model means a lot more work for council as well, depending on what you're taking on with the committees.
It's an average of 5 to 10 hours.
Yeah, more a week.
Or a week.
It's a week. Yeah, more per week.
There is that.
Yeah.
So that's.
We've also been looking at the hybrid models and other models that other nations, I think we got feedback on, well, looked at 18 different nations and how their councils paid, salary wise, hybrid models, honoraria wise. So just what different nations actually do, because we're running into territory now where it's a lot of work.
I have 7 questions, but I won't answer them all.
Oh, okay.
Emails them.
That's great.
But I just, not a question, a comment. I wonder if, when this goes through, if we might have like a consultant on for a certain amount of time to help with the transition.
Maybe.
That's a good thought.
Yeah, it is a good thought. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe. I'm like, that could work too.
I know, like, everything costs money and.
But also, but who's
There,
a good governance consultant that has done something exactly to this?
Well,
because also in the meantime, as we adopt this model and move forward with it, there will be those 3 positions, there will be people put in as acting as we recruit.
Yeah, and it wouldn't go into full effect until I think the second EO is hired,
Yeah.
and then it goes into the third, but we'd be sticking with the same model.
one thought coming to mind is for like kind of a consultant. Now, I'm not gonna mention names, but the person that developed all this, the great mind, maybe pay that person some money to that and help guide everyone into place. I don't know.
Well, we don't know if that might be a conflict as well.
Yeah.
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 And just with what that individual already has on their plate, I think is.
That's why I said like pay extra.
No, but a good thought there might be somebody out there to help, like, look at this, like FMB.
Yeah.
They've seen models like this as well, so they might have somebody,
Yeah.
and free services, they're really
They're
good at what they
great,
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
we did talk about that as
Yeah.
well, to utilize those as much as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Transition.
Yeah.
That's transition, okay?
Oh, you know,
Okay. Okay, so that's essentially the presentation.
Yeah.
So far, that's how far we've come. There is more to it, but we're getting it reviewed. And reviewing ourselves. I know I read through the 36 pages of the charter, and I'm pretty sure there were a couple mistakes purposely put in there. I found the words that were spelled wrong. And
See if we were reading.
just to see if we're
Yeah.
reading towards the end. I know teachers used to do that back in the day. So, okay, found it. Yeah.
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 So, and, the VCR is here to pass around for everybody. To move ahead.
To continue moving ahead with this, because
Moving forward.
once again, if we're doing all this work and then everyone's just like, no, we're good. We're putting in a lot of extra time for this. We're working for snacks and like less snacks than what's on the table.
Yeah. It's just, if it's something that we if anybody has decided that they want to just stay with an executive director,
We
then
can
we
say
can,
that.
we can do that. That is the option still on the table, but if we are to move forward, VCR is here, and then we will not put any more time to.
Yeah. And then we get to move on to all the great policies, which is 26 identified policies trying to streamline into 4 books. Yes.
So, the membership, I want to just give you names of everyone that's on this committee that's doing all this work. All hours, like they said, no snacks. So it's Clay, Doug, and Crystal, and Nazir, Zawad, Robert, and if Robert can't make it, Sadaf.
Yeah,
Yes, there
yeah.
too.
So that's there too.
So they are dedicating a lot of time and
It's a lot of reading.
a lot of reading, and I want to thank you guys.
So,
Thank you.
and just so you know, it's Robert French, our HR
Yeah.
director.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm back up again. Or am I supposed to be? Yeah, okay.
So. Want to be also use.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was looking at. Okay, I'll do that sitting down now. I was just standing up. So I got put on here. For those who don't know, there's probably going to be an announcement at some point, but I was,
There was
oh,
already.
there was now? To community and everything?
Not to community, just
All is stuff.
To staff, yes. Well, I went through the process and I am now the Director of Title and Rights, which is an 18-month position to look at a land occupancy use study around our territory, which I've been here since last Tuesday. So I've been here for 7 days now, and I have been compiling as much as I can here. And I gotta say, Wendy has been amazing. Wendy Redknapp for doing the archives. She has been very good at digitizing a lot of our records, and she's put a lot together. There's definitely a lot more, but she's done a phenomenal job getting our records all together. So been extremely helpful, and staff's been extremely helpful, which is very nice. IT, see, like just everybody around here's it's good. But yeah, so it's not even my first 2 weeks, but essentially I'm just going into the plan of the first 1 to 2 months that was identified of bringing all of our data together. And then we are going to be looking at, I'm going to be working with SADAF to look at the 2 extra positions as well, to hire on 2 more people to help with the work and yeah, put that to work. So it's the very beginning. I do have a project management tool that I'm going to be, so the next couple times I guess I'll present will hopefully have the tool, and it will be exactly what we were looking at before, like the 1 to 2 months here, the 3 to 6 months here, like what we're looking at, and hopefully hitting our milestones as we're going. Things can change a little bit, obviously, with and I know the initial beginning of this, it's a lot of info. That's all I got to say, is there's a lot of info, and I think a lot of this can tie into even what we're looking at with some lawyers and things, just out of the gate, which is great. So yeah, as the update, I'm just kind of settling in a little bit. I'm just trying to settle in and get all my stuff and learn how the systems around Lheidli are, with the shared drive networks and everything else. Deepu with IT, awesome. He's been helping me a lot. Just everybody has. So yeah, just sinking in, reaching out to all, obviously, everybody who has our information, which is a lot of other people too. But I need the chief signature. What I've learned right out of the gate is everyone's like, we need your nation, essentially, and the chief signature to have access to anything we have. And there's stuff as far as the University of Washington. So it's really cool to see some transcripts. And what I'd actually like to see at some point, I did talk to the museum how there is a membership portal. And maybe once we identify some of these tapes and recordings, to have some access for members to just see these, because it's really neat to see your relatives or people you heard about from the 80s and 90s, chatting with people.
Yeah.
I got to hear my mom and my cousin young, cousins, doing interviews young, like a lot of community members that were very young at the time. It's just really cool. And we have a lot of new members. It'd be great for them to see where they come from and a lot of some of these stories. So yeah, anyways, this is just the beginning.
Really cool. You should find Grandpa, August Bob.
Found him.
It's awesome. And the Dick family.
Yeah.
Dick, like,
Hard Bracy seemed very nice as well.
these are.
Ron Seymour, Stephen Jail, Margaret Gagnon, yeah, Mary Gucci, all of them. So much information. Exactly. And for those who remember all these folks, it'd be great to just, have that. And I think have access to it and share it with community members. We'll get there in time, but we have to actually go through it all first. And right now I'm at 251 transcripts and recordings, and I think like 54 videos that's been compiled. And then you have to go through all these pieces, and then it's finding other stuff. What I'm realizing is just not internal in our nation. Our nation has had so many members that have married out into other places and have taken information to our neighbors, Sycas, Nodley, even go down south to Nasco, Lataco, where you got a lot of ties to McLeod Lake, but it's everywhere. So it's finding a lot of our history, which I love. It's great.
I don't know how you would do it with Alberta, but I know there's cedar masks in the Edmonton Museum.
Yeah.
It's Lheidli's name, this Mask Warriors, Cedar Mask Warriors.
Yeah.
So they may have more.
I even heard of somebody talk about the cedar armor that they seen down in the Royal Columbia Museum that was from our area. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a really good project to find all this and maybe in time even repatriate some of our things to our museum. Yeah.
Last item.
Well, yeah, well, the whole thing is to see our occupancy and use and trace that back and have our stories to these different areas. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's,
For the watchers.
yeah, so it is putting together all our history throughout our whole territory and establishing ourselves, well, not establishing ourselves on a government map because we already knew we were there. So I guess reestablishing because somehow things have been changing the last 10 years and we have to really do all this work that needs to be done. So, no, but so thank you. And I know it looks odd, but there always is followed the Lheidli hiring policy. I'll be doing the same when we hire people in, and hopefully we get some applicants internally from Lheidli.
Oh, that's a lot of work to do in 18 months.
I know. We also have our strategic advisor, Don Bain, who did a previous study in 1998, which I found a video with him in it, which is very funny. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he was, I believe he was like 30 years old at the time. And I think he was interviewing, I think Bruno Billy was there. I think Helen Seymour and Josie. Yeah. So. Yeah. So, and like I said, it'd be nice to put these out at some point, even pieces of them, the membership, because there are people.
Could develop a video from Sonic.
Yeah. Right. Yes. So that's where I'm at after almost done my second week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
I already said congratulations.
Yeah. Don't see no flowers on my desk. No, I'm kidding.
No windows, they would die.
Yeah, you're right. I do have no windows.
Oh, congratulations. Good luck on the works and good luck on hiring more people to help you.
Thank you.
I'm glad Wendy Redknapp is doing a really good job.
Oh, yeah, she's great.
She's great.
Always done a really
Yeah.
good job.
Doing a really good.
And then there will be more future reports as we go.
Letters you need to let me know.
For sure, yeah. With the share drive thing, I needed certain, like I needed someone to give me access because the form you showed, it said I sent the thing and it says you need access, you need their permission to access this form via the share drive. So I only have certain accesses. It's a DPU thing. Maybe I'll figure that out.
The internal IT, so that
Yeah.
we have the policies or IT policies were there, so that.
Mhm.
Oh, the letterhead I sent
The
you.
letterhead you sent me.
Approved it.
Okay, yeah, I'll look again. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was in the, that popped up and.
Yeah. I was like, what? I can't just open this blank page with letterheads on it, but yeah. Where's,
Approved it then.
okay, perfect. No.
That's it for today. But remind everybody, Sunday is Father's Day, Show of Shine, and, oh, I want to say Apple Day. But
Yes.
National
Indigenous
Indigenous
People
People Day.
say, yeah.
At the park, it's gonna be busy. They are having shuttles from City Hall to the park. But if you want to drive your own car, I recommend you get there early. If you're bringing a car for Show and Shine, just to the FYI, you have to be there early, get a good spot, but you're locked there till 4 o'clock. So
You have to be there before 10.
You have
Close
to
at
be-
10.
Yeah.
you have to be there before 10, so hope to see everybody there. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Hey, Deepu,